That might help some people. Oh, Kelly is going to start having a practice session. She's going to do it Sunday nights at 8:30. Hello, Theo. So if you're interested, then we have a link at the website to join that. I sent out some a note so you guys could vote. Anyway, it's going to start tomorrow at 8:30. Yes.
At night or in the morning?
8:30 at night.
Oh, okay.
So see how that works out. And then if you go to that, you can work it out with Kelly if you want to be a different time. But that's what we got so far.
Mike,
Yes.
I mean, I'm just using this sword for now. Is that okay? It's got a handle.
Yes. Oh yeah, was that a Japanese sword?
Yeah, it's not a saber, it's just a
Well,
sword.
but you know, look at this saber. It's a lot like this. The difference
Yeah,
is
it's just-
it doesn't have the ring or the
Flag.
flags, yeah,
Well-
or this S guard.
Right.
So-
When you were stepping, could you do the movements you did in the beginning, turning around so I could see how you hold your hand?
Oh, okay, so we'll talk about how to hold the saber. So
Yeah.
the edge, it's got one edge. That's got only sharp on one edge too, right?
Yeah, it's dull actually.
But it's
It
got
has
one
the
edge.
edge
And
on-
then
Yes,
the other
one
one's down.
side.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so how you hold it is you take your left hand and you put and you make it so the edge points up. Okay, and then you put the sword, the saber, in the crook of your arm, all right? And then you put the handle in your hand, and you're gonna put you're gonna hold it with your wrist about where the guard is, and put your whole hand on it, like that. Okay.
So you hold the left hand
The left hand holds it to
and the
start.
right hand grips it.
No, you're just gonna you start off. We just hold it with one hand. Right?
Okay,
So we hold it in the left hand to start, and then when
Okay.
you go like this, then you put it. Now it's in two hands, but you're basically transferring it, and you strike with it, and then you grab it in your right hand, and okay, then you have the right hand for the wrist. Till
Oh,
the end, you put it back in your left hand again.
oh, okay,
Okay,
okay.
so it starts in your left hand because you're going to be attention like this. Okay, standing like this, and then okay, so that's how you hold it. When you hold it in your right hand, then you hold it really close to the guard. Okay, and you hold it. Make sure that these two fingers, your second and third finger, and your thumb, like make a circle around it so you won't drop it. Okay, so you can't hold it like this. Okay, you have to circle the handle with your two fingers. The other fingers, when you hold it like this, they can also grip it, but sometimes you also hold it like this, where you open those two fingers. These two fingers still have to circle around in your thumb, but these other fingers can be open, and you can hold it more like this, and that's to make it stand up. Sometimes we do that, I think.
And is the saber handle flat like this handle is? So you grip it with your fingers, your palm or your fingers are going around. It's not like a round handled thing, is it?
It is a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit flatter. It's not,
Oh,
it's not a
okay.
circle. It's a little bit flat.
Okay,
And so your palm wants to be on the flat part.
okay,
Okay. And when you're going to chop with it, it's like it will move in your palm, and you
I
put
see.
your palm on the flat part. See?
not your fingers, your palm. Okay, I get it. All right,
And so the fingers are on the edge side, see?
right.
The fingers, and then, okay, so, and your tiger's mouth in this position, your tiger's mouth is right next to the guard. Okay, we don't hold it in the middle.
Okay,
Hold it right up next to the guard. And when you, but sometimes if you have to open your hand, then you get a little bit away, but still it's up as far as it can go.
okay,
Sometimes
thank you.
You'll hold it like this, with the fourth and the ring and the pinky open and kind of balancing, pushing against it to steady it. Okay,
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
So Yeah, so that's the first lesson basically, and just how to hold it.
Okay,
The saber is easy, pretty easy. Most of what we do with it is something like chopping, okay? Or we do something we call slashing, which is usually diagonal. And you just kind of hold it like this all the time. So that's a lot simpler. The sword, all the time, we're chopping with it. We're like this. We're holding it like this. We're doing things. Now for this one, we do have a thrust at near the beginning, and you end up like this. And then because it's flat, your palm needs to be parallel to that flat part. So your palm is palm up. Okay, you do have to change the way you hold it, right? You still have to hook it with these fingers and your thumb, but you can't make a circle all the way around. Okay, so that's how you hold it a little bit open more just because you have to. But that's for thrusting, okay? Because you want your arm and the saber to be in one line. Okay, when you thrust, then see the ring, the end of the saber is right over your arm. So if you thrust and you're like this and there's some kind of angle that's not straight enough, okay? Or if you do it and it's hitting you on the arm, underneath your arm, it needs to be right above your forearm. Okay.
okay.
All right. So that's things to notice. When we use it, the swords, like I said, you have to change the sword a lot more than you do the saber. So if you notice that you're not holding it with your tiger's mouth, basically here at the top of by the guard, that's where the tiger's mouth goes. But when I hold it like straighter, it goes away from there. But still, I need my palm to be on the flat side, right? Not on the top. So we can't roll it around in our hand because it'd be easier. You might say, oh, well, if I want to thrust, this is hard. I want to do it from the side like this. That's not allowed. It has to be all the time, like an extension of your arm.
Okay,
So with the palm being like a pivot point.
okay.
Okay, so let's look at the beginning. Let's see, Maria, do you know how to do something of the saber or not? Nothing yet? Okay. So we'll look at the very beginning, and then we'll go on to where we look at where we got to so far. We spent a couple of weeks on it already, but we'll look at it again, and then we'll go on today. All right, so here's how you start. This is the starting point. You start with your holding your left hand and standing up straight. It's still basically the hand form body shape. Okay. For one, I'll count it. Your feet point forward, shoulder width apart. For one, you shift to the left and you turn to the left and open your toe. This is the footwork mainly. And then you shift back two, and then you make an empty stance. I think that's 1, 2, maybe it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the footwork. With the hands, it goes like this: 1, shift left and turn, and start to lift up the sword, the saber. Maybe lift it to a 45-degree angle, and make a fist and start lifting it up. We're going to do 7 stars. Palm down. Then 2, you shift back and now lift it up all the way and get this by the middle of your body and step. And then 3, oh, I'm wrong. You step out with your heel. I'm wrong with the footwork already. With your heel and your toe open. And then 3, you start to punch and you go into 7 stars. Okay, right empty stance. Okay, so the footwork I was wrong. 1, 2, 3. The footwork is 1, shift left and turn, stay standing up, point your toe to the corner. 2 is shift back and sit and step out with your heel toe open to the left to the left. And then 3 is to go forward and make an empty stance. Okay, right empty stance. So 7 stars. So it's a lot like 7 stars, that we start like this, right? We're like this and drop it and punch. Here we're going to lift up the hand. The right hand is going to go like this. When you turn, it's going to make a fist start coming up. That's 1. On 2, you're going to sit back. It's going to finish coming up, and you're going to step. And on 3, it's going to go forward and punch. Okay. The left hand, the sword, is going to go one, it's going to turn and it's going to start to move. It's going to come up pointing at the corner. It's going to swing up pointing towards the corner. Two, you're going to sit back. It's going to come up some more, all the way up and step. And now it's kind of shoulder height, basically. And then three, you go forward and you punch under it, empty stance. Okay. So the first two things are easy because it's from the hand form. So that's 7 stars. And the next one is almost identical to the hand form, and that is step back, ride the tiger. So from here, we step back like in the hand form, and you turn a little bit, you turn your right palm up, and then you shift back, bring it to your hip, and then you turn it and point your fist face to point to the side, and then you swing it up and open your hand. So it's a lot like the hand form, right? Only you hold on to the saber at the same time. At the end of it, both here, I would say, both here, we want the saber, if you can look in a mirror, to be straight up and down. All right, so that's easy at this point, I think. But also here, at the end, we want it to be straight up and down. So here, when you were doing the hand form, you might do it like this, right? And if I put the saber in there, it'd be like this. So it's not tilted back, it's straight up and down. Okay, so we pay attention to the saber and make it point straight up and down in a few places that make it a little bit different for the left hand. But basically, this one does like the hand form, only you're holding the saber. So you step back, turn your palm up and step back, then you pull your hip and you're on your heel, and then you swing it up and open your hand. Okay, and you just keep holding it in your left hand.
Okay, so your wrist is down when you begin. Okay, like this. And then afterwards you come step back like this. It looks like to me like that's what you showed.
After 7 stars, yeah, you start with it palm down, and then when you step back, you turn it palm up.
Okay, and then you bring it back.
And then you just bring it to your hip. Yeah. All right. So yes, you need to bring it, you need to turn it, right? So when you step, you don't keep it palm down and turn it on the way. You turn it because you turn just like the hand form, because your body's turning. See, when you step, your body turns. So that lets us turn it, and we line up our arm to be straight, point straight ahead. I'm not right in front of the camera, but point straight ahead. See, so here it's coming diagonal. When you step and turn, you turn a little bit. Now your right arm is in the plane going straight, and then you pull it straight to your hip.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's just like the hand form too.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So let me see you do it. Well, I'll do it with you another time. Then I'll watch you guys do the beginning, and then we'll do something near the end of where we are. All right, prepare. 1, 7 stars. 1, turn left, start to move your hands. 2, sit back and step. 3, 7 stars, empty stance. Step back, ride the tiger. Step back, turn your right arm up, palm up. Then 2, shift back, bring it to your hip. 3, swing it up, open your hand. And the saber's straight, pointing straight up and down. Okay? I'll do it one more time, and then I'll watch you do it. And let's do it. I will just do it with you. I'll call 2 things. I won't describe how to do it. All right. Opening, 7 stars. Step back to ride the tiger. Okay. All right, let me see you do that. I'll watch you guys now. Okay. Opening, 7 stars. Step back, ride the tiger. Okay. Again. We'll wait for Marion for a second. Okay, let me highlight Rita too, and then, oh, I don't have the spotlight on it myself even. So I'm gonna spotlight me, and then I'm gonna spotlight Rita. Because otherwise the video will just show me standing there doing nothing. All right, so prepare. See, everybody can see me and Rita? Okay. Opening, 7 stars. Step back to ride the tiger. Okay, all right, so one more time. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna say go. Ready? Say go and you do it. Ready? Go. All right, so now I want you to do it again. I want you to do it a few times. And I want you to have this kind of feeling to it. Look, you start, but it's smooth, and you just run it together, make it smooth, okay? Don't be too fast. Don't be fast and slow. Try to make everything be similar speed, okay? Even speed, but keep it continuous, okay? On your own, do it like 3 times. Go. Okay. Everybody do it 3 times? 3 times. Go ahead, Yali. Okay. Okay. So it starts off kind of similar to the way the hand form ends. And so it's pretty, the beginning is not that hard. All right, so let's leave this here and we'll go and look at the end of the form. Not the end of the form, but the end of where we've gotten to so far. Where we're having a little bit of trouble last week was, okay, after you get to here, I'll show you here. You're like this, you stand up, you chop. You stand on your right foot. Then your left hand comes up, pushes down, you turn and step, you shift and cut up. That was 1, the first thing, white crane. Then 2, you shift back and circle up, bring your foot in step. Then you lift up and step, and then you strike. This is 5-element palm. Okay, so let's do that together a couple times. Look at me or Rita if you need to, but I want you need to be able to do it, of course, on your own without looking at anyone, or else you can't memorize the whole thing. All right, so here we stand on one leg, and we chop. Then you look forward, you bring your hand up, oops, and push down. Then you turn and step. Then you make a big sweeping movement with your left hand, and you step, and then you cut up. Okay, so let's talk about that. We have for the new people especially. So this one is a little bit difficult movement because of that cutting up. Why is it difficult? It's difficult because if you don't hold the saber a certain way, you step and you hit the floor with it, and then you can't do it. We don't want to do this from the side, which would be easy. Okay, we want to go almost straight down and then up and cut with it, okay? So to go down with it, after we chop over to the side like this, then we're gonna bring it down and keep the blade, keep the tip up, okay? Keep the blade kind of level, horizontal. See how my hand's down by my hip now? But we're gonna go bring it down by your hip and step, and now it's gonna be a little bit in front of your hip. From here, now it's like it would still hit. Okay, I'm gonna from here, I'm gonna swing it, and then let the tip go, boom, cut. Okay, so after you get it past your hip and your arm is twisted, it's kind of uncomfortable. Then, with making your bow stance, then swing the tip up. Okay, so bring it down, keep it kind of level. Then it goes past your leg. Now it's still about a 90-degree angle with your arm. Then swing the tip up and make it straight with your arm. The edge is pointing up at the end. No, don't turn your hand over. So like this, see, and the edge, my fingers are pointing forward. And then at the end, my fingers are on top. Okay, the edge is up, see? So from here to here, from here to here. That's the interesting part. You can't see all of it. Step, and you're like this, and then you go cut, cut, okay? Cut, with your arm already kind of in front. You use your shifting to help, you know, propel the sword up, okay? So yes, if you do it, yeah, when you're done, your fingers are on top. Okay, your palm up, basically.
Greg, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Remember when you showed us, like before when we did the chop, and you told us like, you know, it has like to do with like a lot of like this kind of like elbow kind of action there? With the, you know, the chop from here down and then go like, and then, right?
Yes.
When we sweeping up in the other way, you said you use your momentum to move it. Are we doing anything like that with our arm, with our elbow, with our wrist, so you get that final lift up?
Well,
Like
at this
something
point,
with the arm?
at this point, your arm is really straight, actually. It's straight.
Uh-huh.
So then you're gonna go like this, and it's gonna bend a little bit, but it's already straight. So it's just kind of it's kind of just, if I did some swinging, swing and swing it forward. It just kind of, with your swinging, swing it up, your arm actually bends a little bit, but it isn't doing very much. You do use your hand a little bit, I think. So your hand is going like this, okay? It's cutting with the tip. So, you know, chopping, if you're gonna chop something in half, you need a lot of force for that. But to cut somebody, if this is sharp on the end, to cut someone with it doesn't take very much. So we're just gonna go, okay, go forward and swing it up, have a little bit of our momentum from our legs, but it's a lot of wrist. This one has wrist in it. Most of them don't have wrist, I'll say that. For the sword, we have something different. So, well, for this one, you talk about this one. This one, you bring it down, and then it is not really from your elbow, but it's like pulling up on the handle, pull up and chop. Okay, so it's still coming from your arm movement, but not so much your elbow. Yeah, so it's not, so people want to use their elbow. Okay, so people want to go like this and go, open my elbow, done. Okay, just like open thing, make them straight, but that is not a good chop. So the good chop is you don't open your elbow and you bring it down and then you pull up on it with a little whippiness. So like, okay, from down to up on the handle. See the energy in the flags. The flags jump. Okay, the flags jump from pulling up. Okay, jerking, kind of jerking the handle up, but that makes the whole sword, saber rotate, and that's how you get the chop energy. So you pull up on the handle, and then this part kind of becomes energized, and he can chop something, okay, with it. So the sword, we do that everywhere. We do chopping, and we do it pointed down usually. We do it from the side. We call it something else when we do it from the side. But we do that thing where you go past the line that you want to be at and then whip it back in line. Okay, and that puts energy in the tip or the middle. Okay, and so we that whippiness, the weapons are kind of whippy. Okay, use whippiness to get your energy into them. Okay, Maria. Okay, Marion. All right, so the first one, the white crane, most of us can kind of do it. Okay, just try to make it as in a vertical plane as you can, as much in a vertical, not too much from the side. And then you'll see it is uncomfortable. This is kind of uncomfortable. I can see, my arm is not vertical. It can't be, right? But do what you can, and then flick it up. All right. Then the one we're having more trouble with last week was the 5-element palm. And okay, the 5-element palm, you go like this, up and back, make a big circle, up and down. Okay, up and back and down. That's the first thing, basically, for the saber. And then when you take a step, and then you go down and up. Okay, that's the saber movement. Just up and down, and then up on the right side. On the left side, back a whole circle on the left side, and like half a circle on the right side. Okay, we have this movement. I mentioned it in the sword also, and we do it like this. We call this one in the sword. We call it twin dragons wrap around the pole, and then from there we bring it down and we thrust out with it. But it's exactly the same. This part is the same. So after you get this up like this, your left hand is going to follow it up, and then you're going to step, and then you're going to strike like fan through the back. Okay, or yeah, fan through the back basically. Okay, so I'll do it with you one more time, and then we'll see if you can do it. I'll watch you do it. Back and up, bring your foot in, and step back out, one line, two sides, open to the corner, toe open to the corner, then down and up, and step, two hands come up, then strike. Okay. When you go back and up, I want your left hand also to go up. I want to have the feeling that, well, I want them to come together basically. Okay, and then come down together, and then mainly go up together, and then separate near the top, and then strike. So this down and up part feel like two hands lifting up. But that's what we do in fan through the back, right? Our hands from down, it comes up halfway up, and you touch it with your other hand, and two hands lifting up. So it's like fan through the back. All right, so can you do it? So here's the issue. Well, here was the issue. Your saber points forward. You bring it up. It's flat now. It still points forward. Now bring it down. It points up. Okay, then you're going to go down and then up, and now it points forward. Okay, you just pull the handle, and the saber, the blade just follows you going around. Okay, and the whole time my right palm is facing over here. I think it's 12 o'clock over here. Okay, it faces this direction the whole time. It's facing that direction right now, right? Basically. And then I'm going to bring it up and down. It's going to stay facing that direction. So the saber is going to stay standing. This is standing, okay? This is flat, standing. So the saber is going to be basically standing the whole time, okay? Not laying flat.
sanding blade up?
Is the edge up. At the end, we're going to lift it up and it's going to be high. We're going to hold it basically as high as we can. And it feels like it's straight up, but look, it is, you're straight. That's too much. It's out to the side a little bit. It's comfortably, all right? It's just comfortably up. We're going to hold it up and then we're going to strike with it. Okay, and we're not going to pull it back. We're going to keep it up, all right? So it feels straight up and then there's a 90-degree basically, angle at your hand, at your wrist. Yes, All right, let me see you do it.
Your arm is fairly extended all the way up.
Your arm is extended here, then it goes up and it stays extended. It's extended, look, all the way around.
So you have a little bend in your elbow at all, or no?
Well, it's Tai Chi straight. We'll put it that way.
Really?
It's straight. It's Tai Chi straight. There's a little bend. Your arms, when you are thrusting, your arm gets pretty straight. We don't want to say locked. That's too much, but straight still. Okay. So when we thrust, it's not this way. And this one is, it's not a little circle that you make with your hand. Okay. It's a big circle that comes from your shoulder. Okay. A big circle from your shoulder. A shoulder circle like this, look. See, my whole arm makes a circle, not just the handle, okay? Not just my hand making a circle, a biggest circle, okay? Let me see you do it. On your own, give it a try. Okay, Maria, that's pretty good. Okay, if you have a mirror, it's really good to look in the mirror, or maybe you can see yourself on Zoom. And so if you're at the end and you're like, it should be looking like this, okay? If it looks like this, that's not flat level enough, okay? And it should not be down either. It should be pretty level. Okay, it's hard to see, it's hard to feel it, but after a while you'll feel it, you'll know, okay? But you can look in a mirror or look at the video of yourself. Everybody has video of themselves now, so you see yourself. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good, Yali. I want you at the end, look at my body direction. At the end, I'm like this. Oh, you know what? It's still turned. Looks like it's turned left. I want your body to be like still kind of pointed at the corner a little bit more, just like what's single whip like? Single whip is like this, right? This one is like this. Okay, your body is the body shape of even fan through the back. Okay, it's the same body orientation. All right. So when you do this one, don't make it too flat, too open. Okay, you need to have, it's the same, like I said, from here or single whip. Single whip, people don't usually want to do this. They're fine with this, I think. So that's the amount of openness, okay, in between these two angles. Where
So not as open as single whip, you say?
it's the same open as single whip. The same. Yeah, that's better. This would be too much. Okay. So sometimes you'll want to put your hip in it too much and then you'll turn too much. And single whip would be like this then. See, single whip has to end here. You can't go like this, right? That's too much. So just like that. And then you have to constrain basically your knee and keep it pointed straight and you won't have trouble. Because the knee goes into the hip and the hip turns your whole body. But feel, put some energy in it. Feel, I don't want to talk about the figure eight again. That sidetracked us. But feel using your whole body to swing it around, turning left, and then you step, then you turn right, swing it up, and then you strike. When you strike, your body kind of doesn't turn very much while you're striking. You're done turning to get it up here, and then the striking is more just like your arm. You're already turned enough. Okay.
So is it Is it like fast through the back arm? When you swing
Yes.
up, you stop at about where your right ear is?
Yeah. Like fan through the back. Yeah. You bring it up and then
So
you
that's
keep
pretty
it
straight
there
up.
and then you strike and you don't move your hand, your right hand anymore, just your left hand. So first we move the weapon around with two hands, step, then just the left hand goes and the body doesn't even turn very much after that. Okay, so,
Okay.
okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, well, you know, we had a couple of weeks to look at. I think we're doing pretty good now. Let's go on then. Why not? Some of the movements get a little bit, or have a, I would say most movements have one little tricky thing in them. Okay, that makes them a little bit, well, something to learn, something new, okay? But that makes it fun. So if it was just like the hand form everywhere, only you're holding the weapon, that would be boring. All right, so I'm going to show you what we do next. The next one we do is called,
Greasy
I
string.
can't think off the top of my head. You know, the names, we don't have names for all these movements.
Yeah.
There's a poem, and the poem has some things. So the poem for this one is talking about white crane. So I say white crane for this one. That's really not the name of this movement. So the movement is more like, I don't know, what you're doing, you're cutting up. So sometimes I'll just say cut up, then deflect up, and then deflect up, strike. This one, they're saying in the poem, they're saying 5-element palm. So you are using your palm. So I say 5-element palm, why not? But I don't think this movement actually has that name. It's just you say the poem while you're doing the movements. I haven't memorized the poem. This next one is a little bit different. So it looks like this. Oh, this one I would say is we would say in the poem is like wind blows the lotus leaf, or the lotus. Wind blows the lotus leaves, something like that.
Yeah.
So you can imagine here. So you shift back and you turn. You're going to turn to the right. At the same time that you turn your whole self to the right corner, you turn the saber. If I didn't do anything, look, the saber would go and come over here. I'm going to turn it the other way. I'm going to turn it and point the handle to the same corner, okay, but not the tip. The tip's going to point back, right? So I point the handle. Then that's one. Then I'm going to sit back and I'm going to be dropping the saber, and I'm going to pick up my foot and point my toe from this corner to this other corner. And then I'm going to sit and I'm going to get it by my shoulder. And at this point, I'm looking back in the corner direction along the saber. And then I'm going to stand up and I'm going to thrust it out to the corner. Okay. This part, the turning and spinning, we're going to say wind blows the lotus. Okay. So so the footwork is like this. You cannot see my footwork. The footwork is back, turn. You've done this before. Point your toe to the corner. Then back, pick up your right foot. See, my foot is turned this way. My foot was in a bow stance, it was pointed this corner. My right foot, I'm going to shift back, pick up the ball, then the heel, and put it down about in the same place. I'm going to point it at this corner. So I'm going to turn my foot 180 degrees. Okay. Kind of like, you know, at the end before we spin around of the hand form, your foot turns and it points over to this corner. Then I'm going to shift on it and I'm going to pick up my back heel so I can stand straight up on one leg. Okay. Stand on one leg with your knee pointed in the straight direction. Okay, so that's the footwork. Let's try that. I'm in a bow stance. I'm trying to over here. This is better. Okay. I'm in a bow stance to the straight direction. Back and turn. Point my body and my toe to this corner. Then I'm going to shift back, pick up my heel. Then I'm going to keep shifting, pick up my whole foot, keep it out, and put it back down on the heel. and point it to this other corner, okay, to the right corner. The way I'm pointing myself now, this corner, okay, not the corner my body points to, the next corner to the right. Then I'm going to shift forward and pick up my back heel and stand up on one leg. Okay. All right. Is that difficult? That's not too difficult, right? Do it one more time. And if you can, you don't need me to tell you how to do it, then you can do it on your own, like 3 times while I'm saying it, okay? Back, I'm sorry, left foot forward. Back, turn, back, pick up your foot and turn it and put it back down. Then shift onto it and stand up. Okay. Okay.
In
This is
the end,
a-
are you pointing at 6 o'clock?
I think the right direction is at the end. At the end, I'm pointing to 12. My foot is pointing to 4:30, and my knee is at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
My knee's at 3 o'clock. Okay, to the side direction, not to the front or the back.
You started at 12.
I start at 12, that's right. And by the time I'm doing this thrusting and everything, this is at 9 o'clock. Is that right? 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
9 o'clock. Then I'm going to turn myself to 1:30 and step. My toe points to 4:30. I'm going to stand up and my knee points at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, the other direction from the fan through the back or the 5-element palm was 9 o'clock, now 3 o'clock ish. Okay, that's the direction of my knee. The energy is actually going this other direction, okay, another direction. So we have to look at that. All right, so let's try this part here. The turning and getting ready, okay? Back and turn, point your handle to the same direction as your foot. Okay, that's 1:30. Then shift back and step and go all the way forward. At the same time, you're dropping the saber. Okay, so I'm getting ready. And now it's still pointing back to the back corner. And you're turning and you look back. I'm looking at the screen, but to look in the right direction, look at my face is not changing. That's the right direction. You have to twist your head and be looking backwards, basically. Okay, so I pointed myself to this corner, but the action is going to be on the other opposite corner. Okay, so I'm going to stand up by going this direction. So the issue is kind of that you're over here like this, and there's something coming on over here at the left corner, which is 7:30. But the way you're going to get it is you're going to spin around basically and thrust behind you, kind of, to get at it. Okay, instead of turning. Well, here I've got my left foot forward. I don't have the easiest, very great way to turn and go to this direction. Right? If I was like this, that's kind of a good direction. I could do something. But it's over here on my outside. So I'm gonna turn around and go this direction, okay, and get it that way. In the hand form, that's where we would spin around. Like after we do the kick, and then you spin around and then you kick again in the same direction. That's because they're coming from an awkward place. And so you kind of turn and let them go, but then you come back and you're in a position to kick them. All right, so you're not in a position to turn towards them. Yes, Marion?
2 questions. What does the left hand do when you before you thrust out? Does it support the sword, the saber?
Okay. All right, so getting ready, the saber drops. Okay, we're going to turn it and basically like this, and we're going to drop it to our shoulder, by our shoulder. Okay, the left hand is going to do this. One is back and turn. It's going to just turn. with our body. Okay, my arm points kind of to the corner now. Then 2, I'm going to shift back and step, and I guess go down. When I go down, this is going to come down. My left hand is going to come in, and the palm is going to be on the ring, on the back of the handle. Okay,
Just the palm
the middle of your palm.
on the back of the ring.
Yes.
At the end, the butt of the thing,
Can
or
you see it?
the butt? Okay, got it.
Okay. So you're going to go like basically like this. It's going to be like this, and then you're going to drop it, and your left hand's just going to come in and touch it. Okay. The position that you're going to have it in is going to be like this, basically. The 2 hands kind of the center of between your 2 hands, kind of the middle of your chest. You're going to be basically holding it like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do with it, we're going to thrust out to the right. We're going to thrust out, and the right hand's going to go like this and turn over. I'll be over here and turn over. Okay. And now the edge is going to be down. See, so feel that. Okay. Throw it out and grab it. Throw it and grab it. Okay.
So the left hand doesn't push it or anything. It just kind of helps steady it.
No, it will push it.
Oh,
In reality, is it pushing it? I don't know, but it's going to go together. They're going to go together. Okay. So 2 hands together are going to throw it out. It doesn't, I don't really add anything to it, I don't think, but it doesn't go like this the other way either, right? It doesn't just sit there. So they're going to go together, okay, towards the right, and you're going to throw it out. Okay. So that's the hand. How do you do it then? You do it like this. You're like this. Like this. I told you the hand's kind of the middle of your body, not over here too much to the right, because that just gives you less. You can't push now. Here in the middle, you can push, and here you can have more room to throw it. Okay. And when you stand up, that's when you do it. Look, boom. All right. Boom. You stand up and throw it out together. You kind of feel like explosion. We had one other explosion for the new people. We had missed it. But at the beginning, it's like this, and you go into a bow stance and go, boom. Okay. You explode both arms, and your back leg extend at the same time. Okay. And that puts out, you just feel a little bit like your whole body kind of going from out. Okay. Explode. The whole body exploding out. So this one is like that. From here, boom, the whole body doing something, standing up with your knee, throwing it out, the left hand following it. Okay. Well, let's try it all together. Those are the pieces. I think we've done all the pieces. Okay, so let's see if we can put it together. Okay. From five element palm. 1, back, turn. Point the handle to the corner, 130 corner. 2, shift back, start dropping the saber, and pick up your foot and put it down, but with the toe open to the 430. As it gets down lower, and your body now is turning more, pick up your back heel. Your whole body is turning to the right. Touch the ring, and you look back, okay, towards the corner. Then stand up and throw it out, and stand on one leg.
and the blade points down when we thrust.
The edge
The
is down. That's right. Oh, you try it. You tried a few times. I'll watch you. Let me know if you have trouble with it.
Oh, my arm out.
Your right hand goes to the corner also. They both go to the back corner. Both go to the back corner. No, your left hand goes with it. Like pushing it, push it.
And
Yes.
then what? After the left hand, after he pushes. what
Yeah,
do
it
you
stays
do with the
there.
left hand? It stay there.
Yeah. For now, it'll do something different in a minute. But at the end of this one, they're both going, pushing toward the corner. Okay. Your body points at the 430 direction. And your arm points at the 730 direction. Okay. Your left hand, the same direction, Denise. Your left hand pushing it, it stays pointed in the blade direction. Yes.
This is a workout.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's mainly why we're here. To get
Goodness.
sweat a little bit.
Whole body, man.
Yeah, no, you feel this one, right? You feel that your whole body is doing it.
Yeah.
Your whole body is involved. That's good.
So when you turn to the corner, does your left hand go around just like we do normally?
Mm,
The left hand swings to the corner and the right hand just controls the sword. So
Yes.
my left hand is swinging out here, is that right? Pointed to the corner?
Yes,
Okay, then as I come down, I drop both hands and the left hand comes to the,
yes,
as I turn my foot. And then I come up to my foot and I look behind me. And then I push out and turn and the rest of my knee goes to 3 o'clock.
yes,
Okay,
that's right. Okay. Anybody else have any question about it? Yeah, so you can see we have like, this is an interesting one because we have Kodak moments, right? So here, from here you start, then you're like this, and then you're like this, right? And then you're like this, and you need to feel like everything's moving kind of to get there. Everything keeps getting closer to the end point, right? So make it all run together. So let me see if I can show you. So from here, back, turn, then it's coming down, they're coming together, stand up and thrust. Okay, so there's the Kodak moments that you have to have, but when you do it, smoothly go through all the positions and just make sure that there's no stopping, and then you'll feel the whole body movement going
so
on.
Mike,
Yes.
in Saber, you know how in the hand form, we don't overemphasize the culmination of the move. We just,
Yeah.
but in the Saber, we actually have an emphasis, right? Like a push, a hard thrust, or a flip up or something.
We put out a little bit of energy in the weapons more than we do in the hand form. The hand form, we want to show like, almost put it there, right? We don't go like, and do that. We don't show it. Here, though, especially in the exploding moments, okay? That's fine. You can put out some energy there. You don't put out 100% of like really doing it, but put a little bit of energy. And sometimes when you do it with the weapons, the tip will shake a little bit when you put the right energy in. And if you make everything, if you're relaxed, then it's like throw it out and grab it, right? And then make it might shake a little bit at the end of it. Okay, so it isn't, it isn't just put it there. It isn't just like move it smoothly there. There is a kind of from being really relaxed and then boom, okay, boom. Just don't overdo it. Okay,
Okay.
we do show some energy and that's good. What I don't want you to do is you can play around and figure out how you can like make, I'm going to thrust and then I'm going to shake it, and then just you can't even see it, but the tip is shaking, right? So I don't want you to every time right near the end. So some people learn it with a sword. They're like here and they go like this and they go to here and then they go, and they make it shake. And they come around every time they're doing it, it's like, just that they're adding something at the end. So it doesn't come from adding it at the end. If you could stand up and make it shake a little bit, that's fine. But don't get to here and then go, and then just to make it shake. That is not the point of it, okay? The point is the whole body movement, the whole body energy. Okay, so we do show a little bit, but don't overdo it. Theo,
Okay, thank you.
Theo.
Oh, hi. So, just a question about the coordination of lowering the arm. I hope you can see me. So when I'm here, as I rotate this way,
Yes.
would you say that as you shift your way back and then you take that step with the right foot, that it's then that you begin the lowering of the arm? Like when do I
Yes.
start dropping Saber?
Oh, yes. You go back and turn and you keep it up. And then as you start from there, now you start lowering it. Now they're coming together. Okay, yes. So one is the back and turn. Two is a shift back. That's when you start lowering it. But I don't want you to drop it. I don't want you to do this either. Okay, I don't want you to go here. 1, 2. Two. Just put it here. It needs to be more smoothly. 2. So smoothly get them come together, and then basically when you touch the ring, when they come together, that's the trigger. Then you explode, okay? When they come together, then explode. Okay?
Thank you.
So Mike, when you make that turn, it looked like your elbow was, when you're turning, when you're here, you bring your arm over, and then as your sword comes down, your hand joins, right? At the
Yes.
same time, it looked like your elbow, like you're pretty low with your sword,
Okay,
I mean,
what
your
it is,
saber as well as your elbow.
it needs to be in front of your chest.
Okay,
So you're gonna coming towards it, turning towards it. Before you throw it out, it needs to be here. Now we do this actually in a couple places, this throwing it out. And one of them is a little bit turned. But basically your hands have to be kind of here and the handle basically in front of your chest to get it to work. It can't be over here by your shoulder. It needs to be in the middle of your body. Then you can feel using your body. This one, we go like this. The second one, we go the 2 directions, okay? So yes, it needs to be here. So it needs to get basically really close, look, close to you, not out here. You can't feel like you could throw it from here. From here, throw it out. From here, you're just moving it over there. But from here, you can feel, just throw it and grab it. Okay, so it needs to be really close to your chest. Okay?
okay, thank
All
you.
right. Well, we're going to stop here then. And that's enough for one day, I think, to learn something. And then if any of you can tomorrow, go and meet with Kelly. I should go over this, okay? Some more, practice whatever you want probably. And that's 8:30 tomorrow night, okay?
Is that for Saber?
I'm sorry? Yes, that's just for the Saber, just for the Saber. Okay, and we have a sword practice at 3:30. Only Rita came today. But we have a sword practice if you want to go through the sword a couple times and have me or Nancy look at you, then that's at 3:30 before this class. Okay, so we're doing more than one practice session right now. All right, so thanks very much. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
and keep practicing, okay?
Thank you, Mike.
Thank
See
you.
you.
That was fun. Thank you.
Good, thank
Is
you.
this tape gonna be on, up on the web? Will this be on the web?
A link, oh, this video?
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna put it on YouTube.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
All right,
Alrighty,
Bye.
bye, hasta luego.